Okay, today I want to talk about games that are usually single player that become multiplayer. So, this began, actually I've noticed this ever since Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence came with online mode. That was probably due to the fact that people kept requesting online for Metal Gear and all that. So then, Kojima just gave it in for the players. Fun little feature that they put into Metal Gear, but it felt really like last minute placing because there was some lag, there was a lot of stuff that other games do better. That's all because they've been focusing out too much on getting everything in. They didn't focus on content wise. A few years later, we have MGS4 with a more content skillful flushed out online mode, but we still see these little tendencies where, this is not as good as other online games. That's just because you're telling a developer who is familiar with single player games and making games offline to make an online game. You're bound to be seeing lots of it. There's no way to expect a better online mode from a developer that's usually making offline games. And this takes me to Resident Evil 5. Resident Evil 5 looked really good. I mean, I was ecstatic before launch. I mean, I saw all these trailers. Then E3 2008 rolls around, and they announced co-op. I was a little bit not disappointed, that's not the word. I was shocked. I mean, I was like, oh, this might be fun, but then I realized it won't be because that's not Resident Evil. The only reason why they included it was so that they could sell it more. So they don't really care for the fans who buy the game. They just want anyone to pick up the game because the online wasn't fleshed out. I've been reading a lot of network problems, and that doesn't happen to a company that's used to making online games. So I'm assuming that's because Capcom just wanted to make more money, so they made it online because they knew that most gamers, when they go into a store, they see first thing just have online. So that's basically why we have that there. Now I find that to be very disturbing because that takes not a lot of disk space, but it takes enough that I want to know what would happen if we had not have online mode. Where would the story would have gone? We would have probably had a bigger story, but thanks to online, it was shortened. So that's probably why it was shortened. But I don't know, that's just me. Another thing, the online mode for Resident Evil 5, I've seen videos. I played the demo. The demo had it too. The demo when I was playing online, it was just shallow. It wasn't really fun. I was just like I could just play by myself because the thing is that you're always gonna be paired with someone who either played Resident Evil, who's a pro, or you're playing by yourself. When you're playing with a person who plays Resident Evil, he's probably just gonna storm through the whole map while you're still behind, looking around, wondering where to go, and that really ruins the moment for me because I played some Resident Evil games, but I still like to explore the environment. But then when it's just I'm playing with a friend and he just storms off, I always have to catch up with him. So it just takes away from my enjoyment of the game. That's what I really don't like, is that you'll be paired with people who played Resident Evil and knows how to get through. So I just find it to be very disappointing that anything else to find a game that is originally a single player to incorporate co-op like that late in the development cycle because they did not have co-op. They did not announce co-op in 2007 and so on, but they mentioned it in '08, which was a year before release, and that was just to me. I think that's kind of a late addition because if they thought of it earlier, it probably would have been flushed out and more interesting. Because I've noticed even in the demo that there's so many places where you need a co-op buddy, but that's just a very linear path. You don't even need your friend to go up there. Like these paths that you don't really need co-op for, they're just statically put in there. Like Like there's one part where you have to get through this door. You have to throw your partner on the other side of the building. That's not really good. I mean, it's just so typical and generic, and it's just, and when you look at games like Gears of War, that does have some generic co-op where you have to split up, but that's at least fun, and at least you don't have, at least you can get through it and all that. I mean, yeah, in single player the AI is pretty smart, but pretty much like it makes it more fun, it makes it more heated than anything else. In Resident Evil 5, you don't get that feeling at all. It's just kind of, you'll always be there focusing on him. In Gears of War, when you split up, you're focused on your enemies, he's focused on his. In Resident Evil 5, when you're splitting up, you're focused on his enemies, not yours. You have no enemies to fight. But that's just in the demo. I have not played the full game since I am not doing that for 40 days. But yeah, that's the biggest thing I've seen that disappointed me about Resident Evil 5 is that the co-op just felt last minute. Didn't feel like it was taking any care that it needed. So that's it.